Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I am so very happy that you are here with all of us today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, making the connection with your PowerPoint centers and your infinite source. Let's start out by diving into why I take the time to call your energy power centers a PowerPoint center. You are living in the center of the universe. All of you are naturally connected into the matrix, the configuration, the cosmic design of the universe. It has a beautiful order to it. And when you enter into it, you feel as though you're in the midst of an amazing constellation. I know that sounds pretty far out there, but I do see it. And I love experiencing that in my body. And I first started to open up in my own body through being a modern dancer and ballet trained being, a woman of great passionate interest and enthusiasm and deep desire to experience the universal cosmic source through movement and through the stillness in the center of all movement. And I'm very grateful for having that time to do it, and the universe giving me really phenomenal training. What blocked me as a younger dancer was my inability to tap into and feel my emotions. I wanted to. And I remember the exact moment. It was in a studio at college. I went to California Institute of the Arts, and I used to rent the studio. You could book time, about an hour's worth of time in the studio, and I would go at night time when it was dark out. It was pretty late at night, maybe 10 or 11 at night. And I remember turning off the lights in the studio, so it was pitch black. And I remember the moment where I went so deep into the source of life within sight of me that I began to weep. And as I moved and flowed in my movement and then found stillness, I found myself to be in that point, that center point within a greater universe than myself. And yet I knew that I had to go inside to find it. I had given up on my fantasy of when I was 8 to be an astronaut. I wanted to go inside and find the sources within me. So over decades of integrating my love for movement and dance and body work, which I was trained in about 20 different healing modalities, all brought me through the eye of the needle within myself by moving into doing my own inner work. That's what I always promised myself. I would never teach anything, say anything, or do any healing work that I hadn't yet done in myself. And so I lived my life in alignment with doing healing work. It was natural. It was what I wanted most. I was one of those individuals who, after a 12-year marriage, had to end the marriage because there was a lot of imbalance and behavioral issues that were quite serious in my ex-partner. And we had different goals. I had to work on myself. I wanted to keep going to find that spiritual true awakening, and that wasn't what he wanted to do. So we parted ways, and in the parting of the ways, that was a liberation. I was able to really continue and fulfill my destiny. So my destiny path is coming into the source of the light and deeply, deeply one with God itself. And yes, I've done enormous amounts of meditation. I did lots of yoga for almost 50 years. And also, whatever I was guided to be with, even if it was sitting in stillness under a tree for 4 hours and being taught inwardly for those hours, I go where I need to. So, in this experience of my own journey and working with over 10,000 people, what I've discovered and seen is the inner grid inside of the human being. When I work with a person, I'm seeing their inner grid and supporting, guiding, and helping them to move through what is happening inside of their own beliefs and thoughts in their own energetic system, their thoughts, their feelings, the blocks, the traumas that get frozen over lifetimes and in this lifetime, to unblock it and be able to enter in through those inner gateways. Thus, the Spirit Gateways Institute. That's the Spirit Gateways 21st Century Liberation Roadmap, which is what this work is. So the PowerPoint centers are these points of light that are vortexes within you. And of course, I loved living in Sedona because, and I still love being in Sedona because it has vortexes in the earth, and less now than it used to have. Unfortunately, that can happen in sacred places when the energies can get out of balance. So it doesn't take away for the love I have for Sedona and what it truly is underneath all of the tourist veneer. It's a very sacred place. It has earth vortexes within your body. You have energetic vortexes, these points of power. And I call them power point because they are center points of your light power. The light that you are is the resonance, the frequency of who you truly are. Within side of the grid connection, imagine connecting all the wires inside of you, which are the emotions, the thoughts, your past imprints in your causal body, the memories, the traumas. Okay, we go through them by connecting the light up within sight of you so that you have a clear connection. You become a clear vehicle for the light that you are, the unique, authentic, distinctive presence of you. And your PowerPoint centers are located inside of your body, and they correlate to the nerve connections in your spine. And your spine is the central system, the rod of transference of your life force energies through your body. All of your organs are connected into the spine, including your brain and your heart. And your functionality consists of your mind connecting into infinite source, which is God, your emotions being uplifted, cleared, and the frequency of your emotions rise through the opening in your body. You're able to sense, feel, intuit, hear, and resonate with great precision when you take on the art of practicing being connected into your PowerPoint centers. We're going to start with the root center. This is also known as the first chakra, and it connects into the earth. It carries the frequency of your fiery nature because it's connected into the fire of the earth. When it is clear and open, it works with your brain to feel and experience feeling grounded and safe and anchored inside of your body. It is the source point of receiving your feminine divine energies that come from the center of the earth. You are connected, one with the light in the core of the earth. The earth having a PowerPoint center also. And yes, then other minor PowerPoint centers that are all pretty major. They create the sacred spots around the planet, and how they are all connected is through the sacred geometry of the planet, which is presently being disrupted through various technology such as 5G and satellite penetrations into the earth. And at some point, perhaps down the road in the future, there could be some invention that helps to counter the impact and penetration into the earth. But that takes a new state of consciousness. And that's what the Spirit Gateways work is all about, is to support all of you in opening and entering into the connection into your unique PowerPoint center of your infinite intelligence. All of your PowerPoint centers connect to each other, and when they're shut down or separate from the other points in your body intelligence, you experience states of awareness that are in a range between narcissism, self-indulgence, denial, avoidance, mania, which we see an enormous amount of these days out there in the mainstream, covered up, making it look like it's normal behavior, that people are starting to doubt their own sanity. So I want to say to you, the way into knowing your truth, your real truth, only happens through igniting and being one in your light system. From the root center, it goes into your lower belly. Now think of the lower belly PowerPoint center being right in front of the spine. So if you're inside your body, imagine that you have a point of light in your lower belly. The way you find it is you put your thumb in your navel, your pinky on your pubic bone. Again, that's your thumb in your navel, your pinky on your pubic bone, and then you place your index or second finger down on your lower belly. That's your second PowerPoint center. Here is the seat of your personal power, your sexual and creative energies. Your navel, such a powerful center, way overlooked. It is your existence center. And what I mean by that is when you do inner journeying and you enter through the portal in your navel, you can move through your own inner universe into the source itself of light. You move through the dark into the light. That's the journey through your navel. Now, in between your navel and your lower belly is your creation point. And this point is extremely important and more advanced, and I won't go into all of it right now. And that's for another time, that you can find out more in all of the trainings in the Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village. It's a 1-year program, and you have access to dozens of courses, video classes that are shot outside, and I really go in deep with you. And then there's also the group mentoring, where you can choose 3 different tiers of how you want to experience group mentoring. So I'm here to support those of you who really want to go through that portal within inside of yourself, that veil where you know there's something more, you know that there's a greater connection that's possible for you, so that you can really move through and excel in bringing forth who you truly are in this lifetime. So it's a combination of unraveling the old and rebuilding a new structure connected into the light system within inside of you. From the creation point, which for those of you who want to create a shield, a safe, protective auric shield, meaning a shield that protects you from taking in other people's energies and thoughts, you can, from the creation point, that point in front of your spine that is between your navel and your lower belly, you send out a ray of light and you ask your body what color it wants to use. I'm seeing green right now, and then purple. And they're lighter shades of green and purple. And then I'm surrounding my body in that shield. I invite you right now to create that shield of light from your creation point and let it be transparent but solid, that nothing can come through it except the light and what the universe gives to you to support your highest path of being aligned in the truth and the light that you are. I'm not going to go into all of the PowerPoint centers here. I go into it in the courses that are part of the Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village, and I go into great depth so that you can come back into the source of power, the love that you are, and make a big difference here in the world, and be able to step through your own fears and the ways that you hold yourself back. And at this time on the planet, when there's so much diversity of belief systems, I am inviting you to go beyond and through belief systems into the actual experience of being one in yourself and understanding what that pathway really feels like and looks like. Through your creation point, back up through your navel, I'd like to share with you the solar plexus, the emotional generator, where all of your nerves and your nervous system are connected. And I invite you to drop from being in your mind down into your solar plexus. This is where I'm going to end today's time together, our very precious time together, because when you drop your mind down into your solar plexus, all of a sudden you're thinking clearer, and you find that your emotional body, thinking body are working together in a more efficient manner. And it's truth. It really does work. And if you are experiencing any kind of anxiety or excess worry, this is the PowerPoint center to connect into. And once you dive into that center, create a beautiful, warm pond in your solar plexus of gold light. And just hang here. Be here. This is your space. This is where you can come into so that you can begin and continue to receive your own crucial, vital, inner divine wisdom. So I thank you so very much for joining all of us here today. I'd love to hear from you. Know you can always be in touch with me through my website, which is iyanalehi.com, IANALAH.com. I invite you to subscribe on my website to receive all the latest updates and more information about the Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village. Sending you all my love. From my heart to yours, this is Ayana Lehi.